I was going to rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
Let's go!
You're listening to the Cage Nation TV Prizefight Podcast. Coming to you from the Candid Cameron Studios in State College, Pennsylvania. Here's your host, Albert Cameron.
That was Iron Mike Tyson ringing in the Prizefight Podcast. I'm your host, Albert Cameron. Today is Friday. Friday, by tradition, at least this year anyway, Friday's podcast day. Friday also means the Friday 5 over at CageNationTV.com, where this week, to celebrate Independence Day, we are counting down 5 commanders-in-chief, that's right, 5 U.S. presidents who competed in combat sports. Because it is a holiday weekend, we're going to be celebrating with friends and family just like you guys are, so we're going to be phoning it in a little bit. Not phoning it in, we're going to be celebrating. We're going to be celebrating our history. Like we're celebrating our country's history, we are celebrating our history here at CageNationTV.com. Before there was a Cage Nation TV, there was a show on WJAC, a Johnstown Altoona affiliate, that was known as the MMA Rundown. It was on every Sunday, and it had 2 guys you might know, well, of course, me, but my buddy Drew, my mentor, my friend, and every week we brought you MMA coverage on the MMA Rundown. Yours truly would get a wild hair up his ass every now and again, and I do a little segment called What's Eating Albert Cameron. In that segment, the big fella would get all wild and riled up, and he would just spout off at the hip about whatever was on his mind. To celebrate Independence Day and celebrating our history at CageNationTV.com, this week on the Prizefight Podcast, we are going to have a best of What's Eating Albert Cameron. Again, thank you for joining us for the Prizefight Podcast. Hope you enjoy a little bit of history. Here you go. Hi, I'm the average user on the internet. I don't know.
I'm just going to step out of frame right now because I got a feeling you're going to go.
Hi, I'm the average user on the internet. I have no idea what life outside of living in my mom's basement is like. Let me tell you what your opinion on MMA should be. I'm going to present this fact. I'm going to ridicule you harshly whenever you don't follow my opinion and facts of logic. Why wouldn't you do that? Because I have no logic. Nothing I'm going to say to you presenting this fact has any real basis in any sort of reality. I'm going to say, hey, a guy like Kimbo Slice who has a hard time making 265, he should fight at middleweight. Why? Who knows? I've had overdosed on Cheetos because my mom buys them. She gets them from a discount club, and I eat them all day long, watching fights, and I'm just talking about stuff that doesn't make sense. I'm going to make Albert Cameron very angry, and I'm going to comment him on YouTube like he cares, like it's going to ruin his day. It won't, but I'm going to do it anyway because I've got nothing productive to do with my time. Whenever you present information like this as fact, there's things you can ground fact in. Yes, Mirko Cro Cop could fight at light heavyweight. Will he? Probably not. Matt Hughes probably could fight at 155. Will he? Probably not, because he's the king of the welterweights. By going on the internet and saying, hey, this is fact, the sky is red, water's purple, grass is brown, and the moon is orange, it doesn't mean anything to anyone else outside of you. So when you're presenting these facts on the internet, and people are calling BS on it, because that's exactly what it is, it's BS, and no one buys it but you, ridiculing them is not gaining any cred. Commenting on a YouTube channel for something that really doesn't matter anymore, but you're going to do it anyway, doesn't get any cred for anyone else besides the people in your own mind, and that is what's eating Albert Cameron.
The opinions expressed by Albert Cameron are those of Albert Cameron and not necessarily those of the MMA Rundown, its sponsors, or...
It's parents or affiliates.
Parents. Your parents don't agree with that?
No, my parents generally don't. They're nice people.
Oh, okay.
Well, today on What's Eating Albert Cameron, I want to talk about Calvin Ayre. Do you know who Calvin Ayre is?
He's the owner of Bodog Online Poker, isn't he?
He's the owner of Bodog Online Poker. Do you know what that guy knows? That guy knows online poker. I don't even know if he knows that well. But he says, you know what, I am so ridiculously good at online poker and scamming people out of their money. You know what I'm going to get involved in?
MMA?
I'm going to get involved in MMA, and I'm going to be a success. You know why?
Because he thinks he can?
Because he thinks he can. So he puts on the Bodog Fight, this ridiculous reality show. Because he's trying to compete with the Ultimate Fighter. Do you know who competes with the Ultimate Fighter?
No one.
No one. Seasons of The Ultimate Fighter don't even compare with The Ultimate Fighter. But Calvin Ayre, the poker expert, the guy who didn't even really invent the full house, let alone knowing how to put a guy in a house to fight, comes up with this ridiculous reality show where he's going to make us all love international MMA. He's going to bring the love back to the sport. Absolutely not.
No.
I like playing cards. I like playing poker. I refuse to do it for Bodog because we have this guy who's trying to put on an MMA show. It's a half-hour block. 10 minutes of the block is an advertisement for his poker company, and it's just videos of him playing volleyball on the beach with girls. That doesn't make me want to play poker. It makes me want to go to a beach. He should be advertising for a travel agency. But no, he's going to bring the love back to the sport. So he's going to take fighters that no one's ever heard of that are good in their own right. Don't let me put those guys on blast.
Nope.
But Calvin Ayre is going to promote these guys. He's going to bring the love back to the sport. Calvin Ayre couldn't produce a good MMA show, even if Dana White was whispering in his ear how to do it and giving him trade secrets. The only decent fight that Calvin Ayre has ever put on was Fedor Emelianenko, and he didn't even really do that right because I can't remember who he fought. And it could be because I'm so angry and I'm so close to having high blood pressure problems because Calvin Ayre has me so upset about Bodog Fight and his stupid poker company. Okay, you know what, Calvin Ayre, you should stick to poker. I would watch a TV show with MMA guys playing poker. I would watch that. You have no business promoting fights. Leave it to the professionals, and that's what's eating Albert Cameron.
Loosen your tie, your head's going to explode.
Thank you.
What's eating Albert Cameron? What's eating you this week, buddy?
Well, I was mingling with the kids on the internet, and they brought up an event called Yama Pit Fighting. Are you familiar?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Let me tell you about Yama Pit Fighting. Yama Pit Fighting was the brainchild of early UFC creator Bob Merowitz. He said, I'm going to revolutionize MMA again because lightning always strikes twice, right?
No.
You can always set out and do the same thing over again. You're going to make it rich every single time. Bob Merowitz said, the cage is boring. We're tired of seeing guys fighting in a safe and docile cage environment. We want to make it more challenging for the fans. So what are we going to do? We're going to make it a pasta bowl with cage sides on it. We're going to make it a swimming pool, and we're going to keep all the kids out. So Bob Merowitz took this bowl. It was literally a bowl, and he said this bowl is going to keep fights from stalling. Absolutely not. You know what stops fights from stalling? Nothing. Fights are going to stall. That's the point of the referee. The referee will stand him up if a fight is stalling. We don't need Bob Merowitz reinventing the bowl for MMA. If guys wanted to fight in a bowl, they'd fight in a bowl. They'd fight in a swimming pool. They'd film it and they'd call it Lionheart, starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. That would be if you had MMA in a bowl. So Bob Merowitz said, this is going to be great. You know what we're going to do? We're going to bring back the tournament format because we don't care if it was outlawed for fighter safety. We don't want the fighter safe. We want them to fight in a one-night tournament. And you know what the bowl did with the one-night tournament? It took a really bad idea with another really bad idea because the New Jersey State Athletic Commission said, well, you can have your tournament, but the guys can only fight in one round. You know what kind of fight you get in one round?
Boring.
You get a fight that ends with your principal pulling you apart and you're sent to the opposite corners until your parents are called. So now we have a fight in a bowl followed by a fight with sixth graders, and we're putting them together. People paid money for this. People paid money for such a bad idea. They actually got a t-shirt for paying for the bad idea. They got a t-shirt that says, I survived Yama Pit Fighting. I didn't get that t-shirt. Drew, do you know why I didn't get that t-shirt?
Why didn't you get that t-shirt?
Because I didn't pay for it. If I wanted to watch guys fight in a bowl, I would go out to the local junior high. I would tell them, hey, this guy's talking smack about you on Facebook. Here's a bowl. Fight in the bowl. I have Yama Pit Fighting. I didn't pay a dime.
Welcome back to the MMA Rundown. Albert, I've got a few questions.
Shoot.
I want to know how to get along with the other users on the internet when it comes to MMA blogs and MMA websites and forums. And I think you're the man to help me out.
You want to be one of the kids on the internet?
I want to be one of the kids on the internet. The kids are all doing it. Why can't I?
Why can't you? Well,
I don't know.
I'm the guy.
Maybe it's because I wear funny black hats. I don't care. It's the holidays.
Well, I'm the guy you want to talk to. What questions you got?
Screen name. What should I do for a screen name, Albert?
Okay, one.
If I want to be cool and hip like the kids on the internet.
Okay, one. Don't use anything that makes sense. Absolutely not. You want to go for obscene, obnoxious, macho, silly, and you get bonus points if there's an obscene 2-digit number at the end of it, too.
So, in other words, I need to choose a name that's the complete opposite of who I really am.
Think about if you could have a string of text that would make you look like one of the guys on the Jersey Shore. Use that.
Jersey Shore.
That Jersey Shore dash.
Only if I had the tan.
If only.
Should I be knowledgeable about what I'm talking about?
Knowledgeable? What do you need to be knowledgeable for? It's the internet. Everything on the internet's true. Okay, what you need to know is if someone has a different idea than you tell them off. You tell them horrible things, you call them nasty names, you make wild assumptions about their personal appearance, and you stick to your guns. They'll respect you.
All right. Should I cite news authorities and sources?
News authority and sources? What news authority and source do you need other than your friend who lives in his mom's basement? He's clearly right all the time. He's clearly got his life together, and he's on the internet. You want to be that guy.
You are just a fountain of information, my friend.
Truly am.
What if I find myself in a disagreement with one of the other members of the internet?
If you get into a disagreement with one of the other members of the internet, okay, this is very serious, and I need you to pay attention to me. One,
okay.
You want to assert your dominance by telling him he's stupid. Okay? If he comes to you with sources and facts, you refer back to the last rule we just talked about.
Tell him he's stupid.
Tell him he's stupid. Insult his mother right away. If you don't insult his mother, he won't respect you. And then once you're done with that, he won't respect you as long as you say it with conviction. Make sure he's wrong.
Tell him he's stupid.
Yes.
Tell him he's stupid.
Yes.
Tell him his mom's stupid.
Yes. Bonus points if you tell him and his mom's stupid at the same time.
But shouldn't I be polite and cordial like my mom taught me to be?
Drew, do you want people on the internet to respect you?
Yes.
Well, then you need to play their game. You need to walk their walk. You need to talk their talk. If you act like an animal on the internet, not only will your peers respect you, but members of the opposite sex will find you more attractive.
LOL.
Absolutely.
You realize, of course, this is all done in sarcasm.
I can't stand those kids on the internet.
You should not do any of the things that Albert has just mentioned.
Especially not in social settings.
Exactly.
Or at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So, well written.
Thank you.
That was the best of What's Eating Albert Cameron, Volume 1. I can't say that I've always been proud of kind of shooting off at the hip, but sometimes it's just good to get that stuff off of your chest. Again, thank you guys very much for joining us for the Prizefight Podcast. Make sure you visit CageNationTV.com, check out the Friday 5. Have a very safe Independence Day holiday. If you're going to play with fireworks, make sure it's under the supervision of an adult. Or if you're an adult, make sure you're not drinking. If you're drinking, make sure you're driving home safely. From all of us at CageNationTV.com, Cage Nation TV and the Prizefight Podcast, happy Independence Day. And until next time, fights, Cameron, action. Thank you for tuning in to the Cage Nation Prizefight Podcast. All rights reserved, 2015-2016 Planetary Sports. The Prizefight Podcast is part of the Cage Nation Broadcast Network. For more information, visit www.cagenationtv.com.